it like bringing a brand new team to the F1 grid?
You know, the first time you see a car, your car, with your branding, your name on it, in an official race, alongside Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, that's what it's all about.
You make it sound like a dream come true.
If only.
When did you first get a sense of what was in store for Connor Sport?
2022 season, straight out of the box. The drivers were always going to clash. That was a calculated risk. But the car had problems.
We're midway through the Miami Grand Prix. It's been a cracking race so far, and it's all up for grabs.
Absolutely, Crofty. Some fantastic driving here today, especially, I have to say, from Aiden Jackson. I don't think I've ever seen the Connor Sport car being put through its paces quite like this.
This is a team, Connor Sport, that have got a lot to prove this season, but Jackson might just be the man to do it.
Okay, Aiden, nice job so far. Let's try and bring that gap down to the car ahead if you can. Copy that.
Alright, we have a lot of work to do here in this first episode as we make an easy move on Sonoda, braking late, and we're actually playing without the racing line, and we also have medium traction control to try to get a feeling about it. As you can see, as the back end will go out a few times here within the first episode, so feeling pretty good. And as we're on the soft tires, we will have a faster momentum compared to some of the other guys as we make a move on Schumacher and then shortly after Alonso. I do apologize if this onboard is a little bit loud. I don't know how it is for you guys, but I know it was loud for me in game, so I didn't really test it out. As we're now moving on to Norris and Bottas, double overtake on lap 7 of this, as our only objective is to finish the race. So we're up into the points in P9. Next up is Hamilton, and then Perez after that, as we try to inch ever so closer to that podium finish. And then we finally make it to Hamilton, not so much farther than where we were previously in the last part of the track here, as we're coming up to the underpass. And we can see Perez there as we try to catch up. We contact the wall a little bit, side by side with Hamilton on this last turn, a little bit of contact there. He gets a good launch, but we do have the top speed here with these soft tires, so we hold that position against Hamilton. And you can tell by how we were redlining that this car is currently built for speed and not cornering. Top speed is not launch off the corners, as we try to make ourselves closer to Perez, and we can actually see some position changes as people are coming out of the pits. So Gasly and Ocon are in the pits, so Gasly comes out in front of us next to Perez, so we're gonna have to make a double position on them as we try to make it go wide on Gasly, and then we make a daring dive on Sergio Perez. Not really quite there, but we end up going on the outside. And a little bit of contact there, wheel to wheel, as we make that move on the inside, gaining that position against Perez in the Red Bull, as our next objective is George Russell, about 3.5 seconds out, just under 3.5 seconds in P4. So George Russell is going to be next. Carlos Sainz in P3 here in Miami. And lap 8, we make it to George Russell on the straight. We have a good launch, and we take that position from George Russell. So we're basically top 4, and lap 8 of 14. So trying to catch up to Sainz as best as possible. That way we can finish this race out with points for Connor Sport here in braking point 2. A little bit of contact there on the wall as we try to get our footing from that traction control, but no worries.
losing power! Why am I losing power? Copy that, we see it, we're looking into it. Okay, I'm afraid you're gonna have to retire the car, please, Aiden. Retire the car. You're joking! I'm sorry, Aiden. Pull over now, please. Pull over now. This is getting ridiculous.
And that's agonising for Jackson. Just a few laps left to go, and he's out of the Miami Grand Prix.
With every race, the car looks like a constant problem for Connor Sport. It must be devastating for the drivers.
Confirmation as the car comes to a halt. The Connor Sport's Aiden Jackson won't be seeing the checkered flag today, but it looks like his teammate will. Jackson's DNF puts Devon Butler in a position where he might just be able to secure some points for Connor Sport.
Aiden's out. Yep, engine problem, I'm afraid. Good job you got me. All right, Devon, don't push it too hard. We cannot risk losing both cars here. It's in the bag, mate. All okay, Aiden? Yeah, how's Devon doing? Yeah, he's doing all right, mate. He looks like he's going to bring home some points for the team. Good for him.
If it's not one thing, then it's another. Did you not see what happened out there today?
Aiden, I agree with you 100%. We are doing everything we can. I know the car is not perfect, but...
Andreo, it's every race. Do you know how I look losing easy points like this?
Knock, knock. Sounds like there's a right show going on in here. What am I missing?
Not now, Devon.
Aiden and I were just discussing issues with the car.
Again? I thought that was all in hand. I had no problems today. It was smooth. You know what they say? A shoddy workman always blames his tools. Mate. You can look at my setup data any time you want. I've told you that. It might help.
And I've told you before, it's not a setup issue. The problem is...
Jackson, that was the problem with the 2022 season. Ask anyone. I mean, at the end of 21, everyone thought Aiden was going to be signed by one of the big three. But, guess they couldn't reach an agreement, so we both signed for Connor Sport.
And do you think that affected Aiden?
That's no secret. Now, for that 22 season, Jackson was a nightmare.
Alright, if you haven't already noticed, welcome to the first chapter. Actually, the end of the first chapter for Breaking Point 2. Very unfortunate that we had to skip the flashback to Breaking Point 1 because of the video and audio were stuttering. So, very unfortunate that we were not able to see that. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll through these here. Not really important to us as we're just focusing on the storyline, but we have a phone call coming in from Andreo.
Aiden, hey, I wanted to give you a heads up. Now look, the crew has shared the latest telemetry data with us.
Fine, but I don't think it will tell me anything I don't already know.
Just humor me, okay? I'd like you to go through it. Let me know if anything jumps out. I'm keen to iron out these problems as quickly as possible for you.
Sure thing. Thanks, Andrea.
No thanks needed. I've got your back, Aiden. Remember what I said when you joined the team. I won't let you down. Ackerman wouldn't let me hear the end of it.
Yeah, sounds like Casper. You know he told me the same, right? It's just tricky, what with the car and Devon poking his nose in any chance he gets.
There is a lot going on for sure, but we're a team. We'll get there. I'll have a word with Devon. Tell him to give you some space, both on and off the track, okay?
Yeah, all right. Good luck with that.
Alright, as we end that phone call, we're going to go right into Chapter 2. Each episode we will be playing through 2 chapters up until the end of the Breaking Point 2 series, so let's get right to it.
Hey, boss, got a couple of minutes?
Alright, quick little decisions here as we get to play as Andreo. We're going to go ahead and ignore this fodder thing that, you know, we're not going to be that easy to be pushed around on the track. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that, and we know what we're looking for from our drivers. And then we're also going to decline Devin's tour for this streamer because he's not in charge of the team. He doesn't say what happens. So if you guys have played Breaking Point 1 from F121, you guys know that a lot of people grew to not like Devin Butler. So we're not going to give him that luxury. I'm going to go ahead and double check some stuff here. I don't think there's really anything new. And we got a phone call from Devin. Speak of the devil.
Andreo! Just going over those last-minute strategy changes you sent over.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear, whatever happens out there today, I get pit priority, yeah?
Well, we'll see how the race develops. If you need priority, you'll get it. But I can't go into the race with that on the table.
Look. We all know Jackson's not pulling his weight. Now, if you want the points, I need to make sure he's not going to get in my way. Do you get me?
Devin, we've talked about this. Give Aiden some space. It's not about you getting in the way of each other. It's about everyone pulling together, racing as a team.
Of course, yeah. So, pit priority, yeah? All right, ciao.
Alright, we're going to round out the rest of these emails and jump right into the weekend. So, Canada. Alright. Alright, here we go.
Into turn 2 we go now. Butler comes out of the pit lane. Jackson is right there with him. This is dicey, Ant. Neither one of these two wants to give way.
This would have been a lot cleaner if Jackson had just let him go. He's just not giving him an inch.
They continue onwards, still wheel to wheel, almost touching there as well, as we head down the straight towards the next chicane. Nothing to separate either car, and through the chicane we go. And now Jackson sends them both off the track, and Butler over a curb. That looked nasty.
And I do believe that one of their cars is damaged here, Crofty. I think it's Butler.
Damage, Ant, but also they've lost places too.
Unbelievable and totally unnecessary as well.
Well, one damaged car, places now to make up. What a complete mess that was.
What was that? Where did he even think he was going to go?
Okay, calm yourself down. We'll look at it in the debrief later, but right now, I want you to go and get those places back. Come on, let's go.
Alright, on to Canada now as we're sitting in P17, and we gotta finish this race with 13th or better, and then a bonus for finishing top 10 as we make an outside move on Schumacher, and we have Latifi in front of us as we're still side by side with the Haas of Schumacher, but not easy there. We just record Canada on our My Team career mode in F122. Still trying to finish that out for before going full on to this game here. But we make a daring move on the inside of Latifi, going over the curb there a little bit, as next up is Ocon as we're lap 12 of 18. And since we did just record Canada, this track is very easy for me, especially with the momentum that we had with the setting that we were using for the campaign. So we're already up into P14. Albon directly in front of us as we try to get to our footing before putting the gas down to the floor for our traction control as we take P13 easily on lap 12. Moving on to lap 17, we're now up to the podium leaders as we're currently sitting in P3. Sainz leading and Max Verstappen now side by side as we make a position against him. Now, all that stands with one lap to go now is myself and Sainz, but we're actually going to push it here, try try to make this move. We move on to the inside, he backs off, and we end up taking the line a little bit unorthodox here as we get through the chicane quite nicely, passing the signs as we're in first place as Aiden Jackson to round out the last lap of the race here in Canada, and we get those bonus XP for finishing in the top 10, not only top 10, but first place.
We did it! We did it!
So it's been a day of drama here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve today. But Ants, what stood out for you?
Well, it must be the Connor Sport moment between the two drivers there, banging wheels, not giving each other room on track. It was entertaining, of course, but definitely for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, certainly. And Aiden Jackson, well, he'd have enjoyed the result. He did well to recover.
He did do well to recover, but, you know, you'd never want to see two cars, if you're the team boss, seeing two cars hit each other. It's rule number one, don't hit your teammate.
Given all the problems they've had this season, though, getting one car over the finish line, that's probably a big result for them today. The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
Alright, pretty eventful end to the Canadian Grand Prix, as we're back in the menu, so we're going to go ahead and scroll through this while we wait for our phone call.
Aiden, just a heads up, we're putting the debrief back by 30 minutes.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Listen, while I've got you on, what happened out there today?
It wasn't my fault. Devon thinks he's the only one driving.
I don't want to dwell on it too much at the meeting, but this is not how we run a team. You know this.
Of course. It's just...
No, I don't want to hear it. We have enough problems as it is. Whatever has gone on between you two in the past, I need you to put it to bed.
Sure.
I don't want to have to talk to you like this, Aiden, and I'll be saying the same to Devon. Come on now.
Sure.
See you at the debrief.
Alright, it looks like Aiden has a debrief to go to, and that's basically going to round out Chapter 2 for Part 1 of our series. Like I said earlier in the video, we're going to be doing 2 chapters of video, and those videos will be parts up until the end of the series. So, hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I know you guys have probably seen the first 3 chapters before with pre-release and all the other popular F1 YouTubers, but you guys being here and watching these videos really shows me support, as we're nearing, if not over already, 300 subscribers for the channel, and come a long way from what I've started, and it just means a lot to you guys, to me, from you guys. So we'll see you guys in the next video.